Hi there, folks. Stephen K. Willard, how are you? Hey, guys. Welcome to my live. My name is Jim, and welcome to my live. Meeps5, great name, Meeps. Hi there, folks. My name is Jim, and I was a type 2 diabetic. I say I was a type 2 diabetic. I don't have it anymore. I've reversed it. I'm in remission. I don't take medication for it. However you want to word it, I don't have it anymore. It's per my doctor. I don't have to take my medications anymore. That was a conversation I had with them. And so what I'm going to do is come on, do these lives and tell people what I did to achieve that. Thank you for liking the lives right off the gate. Thank you very much. Let me go through this again. I'm just going to say it a few times as more and more people are kind of coming into the live. My name is Jim. I was a type 2 diabetic. I don't have it anymore. I reversed it. I'm in remission. I don't have type 2 diabetes anymore. I don't have to take my medications. I haven't had to do it for a little over 2 months now, since the middle of February. And we retested a week and a half ago, and I was a 5.2%. Jolene Jensen asks, do you watch how much carbs and sweets you eat? Absolutely, I do. But I should have been doing that before I was type 2 diabetic anyway, so I still do. Today I had pizza. Tonight for dinner I had pizza, and I kind of made a scene on pizza. So I do, but then I don't. When I cut loose, I cut loose. Normally I do, though. Watch what I eat. Okay, so folks, I think we've kind of leveled off here. About 290, 300 people in here. My name is Jim, and I was a type 2 diabetic. I don't have diabetes anymore. I've reversed it. I'm in remission. I don't take medications anymore. That's per my doctor. Middle of February, as I was just saying. And that carried over from middle of February until, what's going on in your best life? How are you? That carried over until about a week and a half ago. We did an A1C test, and I was at 5.2%. So it is holding. It is holding very well. So this is the deal. I'm going to go on and tell you exactly how I do it. I'm going to tell you that it's 3 easy steps. Okay, you do these 3 easy steps every day. They're all natural. That's what we do. There's no drugs involved. There's nothing like that, okay? And you can do it out of your grocery store. You can do it, little to no extra cost, okay? So I guess to get into it, let's talk about what is type 2 diabetes, right? Really, it's a symptom of awesome. That is awesome. Your best life. It's a symptom of insulin resistance, a condition called insulin resistance, right? And so what is insulin resistance? I'd never heard the term before 5 months ago. I'd never heard the term insulin resistance. And really understanding what insulin resistance was, that's when I began to understand how to address my type 2 diabetes. But I had to first figure out what that was, okay? And so what I did was I addressed the insulin resistance, and the type 2 diabetes went away. And we're going to notice there's a lot of things that are related to insulin resistance. So let me just jump into that real quick, okay? I've got a little cheat sheet here. And those who have done a live with me before know I'm going to do this. I'm going to just ask for a little bit of participation, okay? I'm going to name off some conditions, and I'm going to ask you to type me if this applies to you or somebody that you know. Just type the word me if this applies to you or somebody that you know. Stroke. Heart disease. Obesity. Migraine headaches. Dementia. Osteoarthritis. Childhood obesity. PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Infertility amongst women. Number 1 cause for infertility amongst women is PCOS, by the way. Fatty liver, arthritis, Alzheimer's, erectile dysfunction, diabetic neuropathy. That is pain, tingling, or numbness in the feet, legs, or extremities. Diabetic retinopathy. That is blindness caused by diabetes. Top 3 cause for blindness in the United States is diabetic retinopathy. Sarcopenia, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high LDL cholesterol, low HDL cholesterol, high triglycerides, a waistline over 40 inches if you're a man, over 35 inches if you're a woman, type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, gout, fibromyalgia. Okay, skin tags. Do you have skin tags around your neck or chest area? Do you have any mild discoloration of the skin around your neck or your armpit areas, right? Okay, so these are all symptoms of insulin resistance, okay? And so when I say that I reversed my type 2 diabetes, what I did was I addressed the insulin resistance and the type 2 diabetes went away. So I'm going to illustrate through this that not only is type 2 diabetes going to go away, but there's a lot of other things that go away as we begin to become more insulin sensitive. As we promote insulin sensitivity, as we look to reverse the insulin resistance, a lot of other things go to the wayside. For example, my insomnia is gone, guys. I sleep like a baby right now. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, okay? So, sleep apnea. I've got a good friend of mine who doesn't have sleep apnea anymore. Todd Duck. Todd Duck, go follow T-Duck _. Todd Duck, he's a prime example of somebody who doesn't have sleep apnea anymore. Vic B, I would wake up at 1:30 every morning, every single day. And now I sleep until, I have a hard time getting out of bed now. Like, I actually sleep the entire night, uninterrupted. It's amazing. Okay, so I've talked about what it affects, but what is it, okay? What is insulin resistance? Well, real quick, let's talk about what is insulin, okay? Insulin's a hormone, and so we take in a carbohydrate. That carbohydrate gets converted to glucose, and the glucose goes off to our bloodstream, and our cells use the glucose for energy. Our pancreas secretes insulin, and that insulin will unlock the cell, it kind of act like the gatekeeper or the key. It unlocks the cell for the glucose to go in. Now, when they stop communicating, that is insulin resistance. And what's causing that? Why? Why would they stop communicating? Well, it's because there's too much insulin in the bloodstream. We're hyperinsulinemic. So alongside hyperglycemic, we're more often than not hyperinsulinemic at the same time if we are not type 1, okay? Okay. And I'm also going to take this as a brief moment to introduce my wife, Amanda, AMANGRS. It's a conversation. It's a conversation about finally defeat HIV. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry. There she is. AMANGRS Amanda. Okay, so that's my wife Amanda there. She just waved. She'll be answering questions throughout this as well. So I definitely encourage you guys asking tons of questions, okay? So what is insulin? What is insulin resistance? What causes it? Is hyperinsulinemia, too much insulin in the bloodstream? So the three things that I talk about to reverse the insulin resistance, all of them really are geared towards reducing the overall insulin in our bloodstream, okay? So, here we go. What are the 3 easy steps, okay? But first, I'm going to go, I've got a display here, got a display. Part 3, the third easy step is fiber. I take a fiber supplement. You don't have to take this particular fiber supplement. I want to be absolutely clear that you don't have to take this particular fiber supplement to have the success. To me, it's a tool that I use. I have found great benefit in it, but you don't have to do that, okay? I'm going to illustrate how you can do this without using my stuff, okay? But along the way, I do get a lot of people that say that it's just an overpriced Metamucil or something like that, and I take personal offense to that. It's not. And so I'm going to mix Benefiber, Metamucil, and this. And I'm going to scoot out of the way so you can see them the entire live. And then at the end, I'm going to show you visually. You'll be able to see the difference, okay? So I went to the store and I bought Benefiber. And this is the expensive one, as in it's got the Healthy Shape prebiotic fiber supplement, whereas the other one's just in a normal green shaker. The normal one, you take 2 teaspoons to an 8-ounce glass of water. This one, you use 3 1/4 teaspoons to an 8-ounce glass of water. They're both the exact same ingredients. This one's just $1 more for the exact same ingredients, and it's literally just 1 1/4 more teaspoons to an 8-ounce glass of water. But Metamucil, we've all heard of Metamucil. That one, by the way, is wheat dextrin. This is psyllium husk and a number of other flavor enhancing type things, which I really don't have a problem with that because it would taste like trash if you didn't have that. But Metamucil, this one uses 1 to 2 teaspoons, 8 ounces of water. So I'm going to ask you guys to tell me, am I doing 1 or 2 teaspoons? And then, of course, the fiber supplement that I use. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to mix these up. Three 1/4 teaspoons. What a goofy number, right? So 3 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon. 3 1/4. Two. Well, we already got numbers. Am I doing 1 or 2 teaspoons? Majority rules, 1 or 2. Just type the number 1 or 2, and I'm going to do majority rules, 1 or 2 teaspoons. I'm going to go ahead and start with 1. Okay, we got 2. There's 1. Whole bunch of 2s. Whole bunch of 2s. 2s win. Okay. There's the second one of those. And then the one that I take. Just comes in this little sachet. I'm just going to kind of dump it into there. Okay. My little frother. By the way, I didn't say the one that I take takes 300 milliliters of water, which is like about 11 ounces of water. These are 8 ounces, so one little subtle difference there. Okay. There's that one. Here is this one. This is the Metamucil. What's up, Josh? I saw you texted me, brother, but I had just started the live. As soon as I get done, I'll be reading your texts. As soon as I get done, I'll be reading your texts. All right, guys, about through here now. I'm just going to set these aside. Now, this one is right away. I think you can see that it's just thicker. Okay. All right. Now, there we go. Now I'm going to scoot to the side, and I'll do this live pretty much from the side. I'm going to go to my little iPad every now and then, but you can see them back there. Okay, so we are mixing fiber because that's late night, Saturday night fun. I'm going to demonstrate just the difference in quality of fiber supplements, okay? But really what we're doing is we're talking about reversing insulin resistance. For me, that reversed my type 2 diabetes. I'm in remission. I don't have it anymore. I've reversed it. I don't take medications for it. I haven't taken medications for it since the middle of February. That is per my doctor. And we tested my A1C a week and a half ago, and I was a 5.2%. So it is holding, okay? I do take some supplements, but you don't have to take these supplements. I'm going to tell you how you can do it without it, okay? So with that being said, let's jump right in. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, let's jump right in. So I've talked about what is insulin. I've talked about the insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? And then I've talked about a whole slew of things that are kind of that are related to insulin resistance. Things like increased risk for heart disease and stroke and dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and all sorts of other things, PCOS amongst women, all of these things. So let's talk about, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's talk about reversing the insulin resistance. Okay, so I mentioned that we have too much insulin in our bloodstreams. So what does that mean, right? So that means that we're sitting here having this conversation, right? And you can hear me, you can understand me just loud and clear, no big deal. But you've got 50 people on each side of your head, you're not going to be able to understand me as well, right? You're just not going to be able to understand me because all these voices right here. So that's what's happening to our cells. We've got too much insulin just drowning our cells. They are just taking a bath in the insulin, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to just thin the herd. We're going to get rid of some of the insulin in our bloodstream. This entire protocol really is geared towards that, minimizing the insulin in our bloodstreams, okay? Now, the first way that I do that, so step one, I'm going to tell you it's 3 easy steps. Step one is intermittent fasting. And I'm going to take, I know I said I was going to keep this in the background, but I want to go and show an image. There's nobody behind me. This guy right here. This is Dr. Elliot Jocelyn. Dr. Elliot Jocelyn was studying type 2 diabetes the turn of the century, 1900. In fact, this was an excerpt from a paper that he wrote discussing the treatment of diabetes mellitus in 1916, so 107 years ago. The temporary periods of undernutrition are helpful in the treatment of diabetes will probably be acknowledged by all after these 2 years of experience with fasting. Okay? He was suggesting 107 years ago that intermittent fasting would take care of the type 2 diabetes, that it wasn't that big of a deal. We didn't have to overthink this, just stop eating so frequently, right? Now, who's heard of Dr. Jason Fung? If you've heard of Dr. Jason Fung, type the word me here, okay? Oh, dang it, I don't know my book. We got a lot of me's. Okay. Me, but from me. Oh, fair. I talk about him a lot, right? Okay. So Dr. Jason Fung, right? He's a nephrologist. He's a kidney specialist. Basically, he studies kidneys or he deals with kidneys, right? And he was drawing a connection between the insulin resistance and the kidneys. He thought that if we reversed the insulin resistance, there would be a benefit to the kidneys. And he was right. There was, right? And so he started having patients practice Dr. Elliot Jocelyn's method of intermittent fasting. That's 16 hours of not eating, 8 hours of eating, 16 and 8, right? So during a 24-hour period, don't eat for 16, do eat for 8. For me personally, it's past 8 o'clock here in Denver, so I'm in my fast right now. I'm not eating anything else, and I won't eat until noon tomorrow, at least, okay? And then from noon until 8, I get to have meals. So Dr. Fung started having people do that, and then he would have them do a low-carb, high-fat diet, which sounds a lot like keto, right? And basically the idea of low-carb, if we minimize the carbohydrates that we take in, there would be less glucose. That would help minimize the insulin response. Those two things together, he thought he could reverse the insulin resistance. And in fact, he did. He had patients time and time again. We're talking about tens of thousands of patients now that Dr. Fung has helped doing this protocol, right? He's written a ton of books on it. I always talk about this one, Life in the Fasting Lane by Dr. Jason Fung. Okay. I do have it's occurred to me that I probably sell quite a few of Dr. Jason Fung's books on the Amazon. I've done that quite a bit, and so I decided to become an Amazon affiliate. So there's a link in my bio that if you do decide to buy the book that I've been suggesting for quite a while now, use that link, and it gives me a little bit of commission, so whatever. Life in the Fasting Lane by Dr. Jason Fung. He started having patients that not only reversed their insulin resistance, but they also reversed their type 2 diabetes, their PCOS, women who had been once infertile, started having babies. It was an amazing transformation just through the intermittent fasting and the low-carb, high-fat diet. It works. It really does work. Now, I also, in that same, you know what? I mean, Josh, it kind of makes, I mean, honestly, I bet I've sold a few $100 of books, and Amazon can certainly afford to pay me for promoting them, so whatever. If you don't use my link, I don't really care. If you do, thank you. Okay. Oh, you'll listen to this here. Allie, is it Allie? Allie Newman? Keep listening here, okay? You're just stepping into type 1. It's a 3-step protocol. I just described the first step, which really is intermittent fasting and a low-carb, high-fat diet. I'm going to say that I don't subscribe to the low-carb, high-fat diet portion of it. Part of my other protocol helps with that. So I don't really subscribe to the low-carb, high-fat diet. I do watch my carbs. I generally don't eat trash, what I call trash white carbs, like highly refined, highly processed white carbs. I don't like white flour and that sort of thing. I don't eat that really. So if I'm gonna have a carb, it'll be a whole grain like farro or quinoa, barley, stuff like that, okay? Okay, so part 2 of the protocol is tea. Specifically yerba mate tea, okay? Yerba mate tea has been widely consumed in South America for more than 500 years. The indigenous people of the regions of Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay would say that it made them feel full and gave them energy. And why? What is in this tea that does that? And it's chlorogenic acid. So chlorogenic acid is a naturally occurring compound alongside caffeine. So when you have caffeic acid, you get chlorogenic acid. It just happens, right? And chlorogenic acid has been scientifically studied and proven to suppress appetites, to aid in weight loss. I'm getting there right now, TikTok tweaker. Aid in weight loss, suppress appetites, help lower blood pressure, and for the sake of this conversation, it helps promote insulin sensitivity. Now, I've got another study here on my iPad that I like to show off. Let's see. We're going to go right here, actually. This is PubMed. This is the National Institutes for Health, NIH.gov. This is an official website of the United States government, okay? And here, this particular research paper, chlorogenic acid improves glucose tolerance, lipid metabolism, inflammation, and microbiota composition in diabetic mice. They were studying the effects of chlorogenic acid on, well, in this case, diabetic mice. And I'm aware that it's diabetic mice. They've also done plenty of studies on humans, but there's a line in this one that I like, okay? And this is it right here. The results showed that chlorogenic acid decreased body weight and improved glucose tolerance and insulin resistance. That's what we're trying to do, right? Decreased body weight, improved glucose tolerance, and insulin resistance. And these effects were similar to those of metformin. You know what? That's fair, Allie Newman. That's fair. What if you don't trust the government? That's fair. But I guess we're supposed to trust PubMed. We're supposed to trust PubMed. So we're supposed to trust this. These are all these are research papers that just get published on PubMed. So really, these aren't even the U.S. government. This is just on their website. Anyway, there. Okay. Yes, and I actually have no problem with berberine whatsoever, okay? I don't think that it gets to the root cause. Yes, I am talking about yerba mate. Yes, I am. More specifically, the chlorogenic acid in yerba mate, okay? And so chlorogenic acid is a naturally occurring compound alongside caffeine. So anytime you have caffeic acid, you have chlorogenic acid. So for me, it applies in yerba mate tea, but for you, it could be coffee. I have not tried that. Could be coffee, that could be black tea. Yes, yerba mate, exactly like that, Allie. Black tea, green tea, black coffee, unsweetened, right? The sweeteners will break the fast. If we're doing the fast, the sweeteners will break the fast. So in the morning, hopefully while you're fasting, drink your unsweetened black coffee, unsweetened black tea, unsweetened green tea, that sort of thing. And what we're going to do is that chlorogenic acid that's in those products, again, naturally occurring in those products, will go to work and help promote your insulin sensitivity. Psyllium is the orange. That's the psyllium. This one is wheat dextrin. And then that one is a blend that I take. Okay, so now I mentioned that I'm going to talk about supplements that I purchase along the way. And again, I hope I've illustrated to you that you can get this through your coffee, through your tea. You don't have to buy my product. I love the product that I take. I do believe that it helped me reverse my type 2 diabetes. And so I'm definitely going to talk about them, but don't feel compelled. You don't have to buy them to have success, okay? I really feel like the tools that I take just make it a little bit easier for me, if that makes sense. So the yerba mate tea that I purchased, the company takes the good things like the chlorogenic acid and the theobromine, and they extract them from that yerba mate tea. Then they go through and cleanse it. They purify it. They get rid of things that we don't want, like pesticides and like heavy metals, stuff that we don't want to be consuming. And they sell back that tea to me, and it's a better version of the original, basically. It's got about 10 times the chlorogenic acid of a cup of coffee, 375 times the chlorogenic acid of a typical cup of yerba mate tea. And according to the study here, that clearly is beneficial when you're trying to reverse your insulin resistance, okay? So part 2 of the protocol is chlorogenic acid, consuming chlorogenic acid. That could be your black coffee, your black tea, your green tea, unsweetened, or in my case, I do take a supplement there, and I'll tell you how to get that supplement here in a little bit, okay? So that's part 2. Part 3 is fiber, and that's where we're going to start talking about these, okay? I will get to that. I'll tell you in just a moment. And here's the deal. If I tell people what the tea is, then they tend to jump right out of the live to go Google it. And I don't have a problem with you Googling it whatsoever, but then you missed part 3. So I want you to hear part 3, and then you can go Google away, okay? So just hang tight for me just through this last final piece. Fiber, right? And this is where I'm going to get, I drink a glass of wine nearly every day. We're going to get to these. These are our fiber supplements, okay? And again, you don't have to take a fiber supplement. I find that it helps me, okay? So, fiber. 93% of Americans don't get the recommended daily intake of fiber. That's 95% of men and 91% of women don't get the recommended daily intake of fiber. A diet that is appropriate in fiber drastically reduces your risk for heart disease, stroke, or type 2 diabetes. Okay? So, why is that? There's soluble and insoluble fiber. These are kind of 2 different categories of fiber. Soluble fiber will wrap itself around your carbohydrate and slow down the digestion, the converting to glucose, so we don't get this quick glucose spike. It will slowly cause our glucose levels to rise, which will then keep our insulin response lower. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water. It will kind of wrap itself around the carbs that we're not going to use, and we'll flush those down the toilet when we go poop. I don't know how to word it better than that. So a diet that's appropriate in fiber will help our bodies naturally regulate its glucose levels. So again, I'm going to try and give you ways that you can increase your fiber on your own. You don't have to use this supplement or any supplements, okay? Go to the grocery store and buy a wide variety, bowel movement, yes, wide variety of fruits and vegetables, right? Each fruit, each vegetable has its own type of fiber. Like apples have pectin, right? Somebody mentioned psyllium husk earlier. But what we need is a wide variety of them. We can't have just one type of fiber, right? I have to have this wider variety, okay? So go and get a wide variety of fruits. Eat the rainbow, as they might say, right? Apples, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Blackberries, of course, black is not part of the rainbow, but whatever. We're going to stick to skin on and minimize skin off. So we're going to minimize the oranges, minimize the bananas. We're also going to stick to less sweet, like grapes. I know there's skin on, but we're going to minimize the really sweet fruits like grapes, okay? And then we're going to go over to the vegetables and do the exact same thing. Get a wide variety of the leaves. Don't just get your favorite one leaf. Get a wide variety of the leaves. Get a wide variety of the cruciferous vegetables. Get a wide variety of all of the vegetables. They each, again, they have their own different type of fiber, and we need all those different types. Now, stick to above ground. We're going to minimize the below ground, like potatoes. Okay, the potatoes, they've managed to work their way onto our tables as being a staple, and they shouldn't be. They're a treat. Enjoy them every couple of weeks, maybe. Don't enjoy them every night for dinner. They're a bit of a problem. Stick to above ground. Okay. Carrots. The method of cooking changes the glycemic index. A raw carrot is okay. A cooked carrot, the glycemic index gets pretty high. So, same thing with, I always get asked about sweet potato. Sweet potato, an example of the method of preparation, right? A sweet potato, if it is baked, it's like an 85 on the glycemic index, which is pretty high. That's out of 100. If it's fried, it's like a 96 out of 100, which is ridiculously high. If it's boiled, it's like a 45 on the glycemic index, which is low. It's actually considered low on the glycemic index. So if you're going to have a chia seeds are great. If you're going to have a sweet potato, boil it. Okay? So that's a rundown on how to increase your fiber naturally. If you are like me and that doesn't seem to be getting the job done, that's where the tools come into play, okay? I don't know that I'm going to say that root vegetables. Beets, oh my goodness. Okay, Google, here you go. Google your favorite food and glycemic index. So say like, go to Google and say, potatoes, what is an Idaho potatoes glycemic index? And try and stick to foods that are low to medium. The beets are funny, right? They're actually high on the glycemic index, but they're low on the glycemic load. Meaning they are high. They would get converted to glucose pretty quick and cause a spike, but there isn't enough carbohydrates in it to do that. So the load is like a 5. I think the glycemic index is like a 95. And I could be wrong on that number, but I don't think that's the right number, but it's high. The beets are higher, but the glycemic load is like 5, which is very, very low. So again, just go and Google your favorite food or whatever food that it is, and Google what is it on the glycemic index, okay? So I take the supplement. For me, honestly, I don't mind. I had salad at lunch and I had salad at dinner, and it's still, I still found myself, I was going to get him some pizza too. We had pizza for dinner, and so the tools, okay? This particular packet of fiber, the one that I consume, this one here, was developed by Rexall Pharmacy in the late 80s. It was put to market 1990 timeline. It was marketed originally as a weight loss product that would help lower cholesterol. Now, it's sort of working. People started losing weight and their cholesterol started coming down. It worked. It then starts getting looked at for A1Cs. A1C values start coming down, and it starts to draw the attention of doctors and pharmacists and scientists all over the world, and clinical institutions, hospitals, and that sort of thing. It's been studied at BYU, at Stanford, at UNLV. It's been studied at the University of Sydney and the Cleveland Clinic. This is the area that I'm going to go into talk about these two locations, okay? I'm gonna pull this down and we're gonna go on a quick little field trip. Uh-oh, there we go. This here. This is a published study by the Cleveland Clinic, okay? There's your publication information. And we're gonna scroll down to the bottom and read this line right here. Now, for those who aren't really familiar with it, the Cleveland Clinic is widely perceived to be the top heart hospital in North America, one of the top heart hospitals in the world. Their study concluded such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and or dose for lipid-lowering prescription drugs. And that's just a powerful statement. That's the very powerful statement. But really, and for what it's worth, I am, as of a week and a half ago, I am no longer taking my statins, and that's per my doctor's orders. I don't have to take my statins anymore, okay? So, I want to come over to the glucose study. Because we're talking about glucose regulation, we're talking about insulin. We want to keep our insulin levels low. So I want to come over here. This is the Mayo Clinic, right? We're familiar with Mayo Clinic. And this is really just how they describe what the glycemic index is. The glycemic index classifies carbohydrate-containing foods according to their potential to raise your blood sugar level. Foods with a high glycemic index value tend to raise your blood sugar higher and faster than do foods with a lower value. Okay? So basically what that's saying is if you're a type 2 diabetic, hopefully, I'm sure you're aware of what white rice does to your blood sugar levels, right? Or mashed potatoes, French fries, it spikes your glucose levels, right? So that's the glycemic index. That's what it's doing, is it gives us a guideline there. I want to go to glycemicindex.com, and it takes me to the University of Sydney. The University of Sydney is the home of the glycemic index. There is a glycemic index search right there that's pretty painful. It's not very user-friendly. You could go there, or you could do what I said earlier and just Google what is the glycemic index of a certain food. But you could certainly try and stumble through that one. It's pretty painful. The About page, though, that's what I want to talk about here. The About page starts talking about her, and her name is Jenny Brand Miller. Jenny Brand Miller. Jenny Brand Miller has studied the fiber supplement that I take. There's her name, the University of Sydney. This is her study, and they concluded that when consuming this fiber packet that I take before mashed potatoes, white rice, or white bread, it dropped the glycemic index on all three of those foods from the high glycemic to the medium glycemic indice. Furthermore, and noteworthy given the relevance of insulin in obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and more, the fiber supplement reduced the insulin index for all three test foods, effectively reducing the insulin secretion following food ingestion. So that's what we're trying to do. Yes, it is, actually. Well, was, sort of. Okay. They studied it a second time, and the second time was with white bread, and they found that one packet caused a 20% reduction in blood glucose levels. 2 packets was a 28% reduction in blood glucose levels. And then on the insulin, which is what we're really trying to do, right? We got to keep the insulin levels down to promote the insulin sensitivity. 1 packet caused a 13% reduction in blood insulin levels. 2 packets was a 27% reduction. And those are just massive numbers. That's all. Those are big numbers. If we're looking to promote insulin sensitivity, if we're looking to reverse that insulin resistance, then those are the sorts of numbers that really are gonna help. Now, I'm ready to go and do the display here. Just gonna get some wine glasses here, because why not? Okay, so this Benefiber has been sitting out for about probably 40 minutes now, 30, 40 minutes. And the consistency of it is very similar to water. It's not very thick at all. Okay, Benefiber. The Metamucil. Smells kind of gross. And the one that I drink, very thick, very consistent. Fair enough, user. That study was small. It only studied 25 people. Fair enough. Okay, so there have been other studies as well, but that's fair. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, so the manufacturer is Unicity. The tea that I drink is Unimate. The fiber is Balance. Okay, it was originally released as BioSlife, and Balance has aspects of BioSlife in it, but it's also got some other vitamins and minerals that they've added to it since. So its base foundation is the BioSlife formula that's been studied. They just added to it some other essential vitamins and minerals and that sort of thing. So, and that's Balance. Okay, it's been rebranded as Balance. The tea is Unimate. So when you put the Unimate and the Balance together, that's Unicity's field rate system. I'm sure you guys have heard a fiber gummy probably has a bunch of carbs, like 5 carbs straight from sugar. I wouldn't take those. That is awesome, Kara. Great. I'm excited for you. Who's your coach, just out of curiosity? You're looking at me. Okay, so, okay, Splenda. I don't have a problem with Splenda. Okay, so, in moderation, of course, in moderation. Okay, so if you wanted to get the product, that link right there. So this is my homepage. Yeah, I'm just going to show you right here. Oh, Maria, awesome. I love it when people come in. I love it when people come in and actually have results. Okay, so this link right here, that's my link tree. If you click that link, it will take you over here. Those educational books, those are the ones that I was saying. That's where you're going to find my little Amazon affiliate for those. And then that first one up there, Unicity Field Rate System. Okay, if you click that, I want to just, it's not the same thing, Marine 462. It's not the same thing, right? It's psyllium husk, and there's nothing, I don't have a problem with, I'm not waging war against Metamucil, but it's not the same thing. So this is Unicity's website, guys. This is not my website. I don't manage this website. I don't do anything. It's got my name on it, but that's a referral link. This is managed and maintained by them. I bring that up because when you use this link, you're not buying it from me. You're buying it from Unicity. Unicity is the one that's fulfilling the order. That's the way they want it, okay? So if you wanted to, that's where you'd buy it now. I always like to scroll down. There is the Unimate. There is the Balance. If you wanted, there's a Learn More button. We'll go ahead and do that on the Balance. This is where you'll find the ingredients, the nutritional information, all that stuff for it, okay? And then I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom, and there is a science section. What's up, DA? How are you? We're going to click that science section. And over here, we've got research. If you click research, that will take you to the clinical validation studies. Oh my goodness, we're going to talk about obesity shots here in a moment. Are you talking about Ozempic? Okay, so My Boys Forever. I'm going to answer that here in just a moment, okay? So these are all the different studies. There's your Cleveland Clinic one. There's one of the University of Sydney ones. It's been studied all over the place, okay? Let me come here. Okay, I want to address the type 1 question, okay? I'm going to be talking to you in just a moment, My Boys Forever. I want to say real quick, the protocol costs $154 for 30 days, about $5.16 a day. My tea cost me $1.72. $1.72 added to my lunch and $1.72 added to my dinner. And Pebbles, I'll address that as well. That test that shows cancer, it was boiling water. The extreme heat part of that study was in they used boiling water. So okay, so boy, where am I at? Getting distracted. Go to that buy now, do the subscription. Okay, they give a 90-day money back guarantee. That's what I was trying to get at. 90-day money back guarantee. They guarantee you're going to see an improvement in your A1C or your cholesterol. Now, I want to go and I want to address the type 1. Okay. I'm going to address the type 1 question, and I'm going to have to rewind a little bit to get to some of these other questions, okay? The type 1, it is possible for a type 1 to also be insulin resistant. That's where you hear the term double diabetic, right? Or they're type 1 and they're type 2. Well, type 2 is just insulin resistance to the point of, so when you are giving yourself your injections, your cells can still be resistant to that synthetic insulin, right? So yes, it will. Now, it's not going to ever reverse your type 1 diabetes, but it could certainly work to reverse or promote insulin sensitivity for you. So I hope that answers that. Now, I'm going to go down a quick path here, and it's going to take probably about 2 minutes. And it's called abscisic acid, right? Abscisic acid. Abscisic acid is found in figs. It's found in anything alive, really. But it's got a higher concentration in figs, 0.79 milligrams per kilogram specifically. And figs have been studied for their fig fruit extract, specifically the abscisic acid portion of it. Abscisic acid has been studied and proven to promote insulin sensitivity. Now, they gave type 1 diabetics fig leaf tea every day for 60 days in the morning. And at the end of those 60 days, they found that the type 1 diabetics used 12% less insulin than the people who did not drink that fig leaf tea. And the fig really just promotes insulin sensitivity. And so that really illustrates that a type 1 diabetic can also be insulin resistant and possibly type 2 at the same time, double diabetic. So hope that answered that. It was a long-winded answer, but the idea, oops, who did I just invite? Oops, I didn't mean to invite anybody. Okay, so I'm trying to get back to some of the answers or some of the questions. Easy peasy. That's right, Maria. I did ask Maria, but who's your coach? Awesome, Des Inspired. You bought the book. Awesome. Thanks for using my link. Thank you for using my link. I think I've drawn $1 something commission off of Amazon this month. It's the 30th or the 29th. You're just... Oh, Rocket Rescue. You are a friendly one, aren't you? I didn't put myself on your FYP, by the way. Okay. Simple intermittent fasting. Obesity shot. Oh, obesity shots. Are you talking about Ozempic? Okay, that was the one I meant to get to. Okay, let's go here. And I hope you're still in here. I'm sorry, got a little bit distracted there. This is the prescriber's digital reference. Okay, it's part of the physician's desk reference suite. And here, this is where a doctor or physician is going to come if they're looking for places that drug interactions, side effects, that sort of thing. Rocket the Rescue, I don't have any qualifications. I read a lot of reports and I talk about them on TikTok. I've not once claimed to have qualifications. Rocket the Rescue. That's a great name though, Rocket the Rescue. So here, I'm going to just type in Ozempic. And that right there, thyroid cancer. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing in Google. Ozempic side effects in Google. And on their webpage, possible side effects. I guess I got to hit accept all. I don't want to reject all their cookies. Ozempic may cause, this is on their webpage. May cause side effects including possible thyroid tumors, including cancer. That's on their webpage. So I guess, I don't know. And the argument, the naysayers would say that anything's going to cause you cancer. I get it, but it's just a very, I don't know. I don't like that one, but okay. What other questions do we have? Jason Colburn. Yeah, I don't know that that's really been talked enough about. There are serious side effects to these. I think 10 years down the road, we're going to be seeing those commercials that say, did you take? Yeah. La Linguine. Look where I just started. I'm glad. I don't want there to be any scare tactics, but if you started it for type 2 diabetes or if you started it for weight loss, there are other ways to do it. What is my blood sugar? So 2 weeks ago, specifically on the 19th, so I guess 10 days ago, my A1C was 5.2%. And I have not been on any medication since the middle of February. Yeah. Pebbles. Yeah. Fair. Okay, how did I reverse my insulin resistance? So I started doing things that promoted insulin sensitivity. It was intermittent fasting. I drink chlorogenic acid, coffee, tea, caffeinated beverages, naturally caffeinated. I don't drink sodas. And then I also take a supplement tea at the same time that has a little bit more of that. And then I also increased my fiber substantially, my fiber intake substantially. And I take a supplement there as well. What's the best way to start? Turning type 2 away. Type 2. You're welcome, my boys forever. I ratchet. You're welcome. There you go, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Dodge Girl. I'm assuming you're talking about my 5.2%. I'm trying to catch that's a very active chat this go around. I'm trying to keep up. Those gummies are usually like really high in carbs, like all sugar. So Sunshine says, I would love to get off all my medications. I was on 2,000 milligrams a day of metformin. I was on a 4.5 milligram pen of Trulicity, and I was on 40 milligrams a day of rosuvastatin. As of last week, I'm no longer on the rosuvastatin. I'm no longer, since the middle of February, I've not been on any of the type 2 medications. How does the fast work? So, Rastros, what's going on? The fast works, so I start fasting at 8 p.m. and I stop fasting at noon, thereabouts. Sometimes I go a little bit longer. If I'm not hungry, I don't just break my fast to break it. So 8 p.m. until noon is when I fast. Hi, Rascal. Oh, are you? Jason? I didn't like them, and so I started looking for other places. And guys, so as you guys can see, there are some people that just hate this protocol. They hate the field grade system, and for the life of me, I can't understand what brings somebody to such a level of hatred in their life that they want to bash fiber. Like, it's just fiber, guys. Get a life, you know. That is incredible. Oh, Maria, that's awesome. That is awesome. Rastros, that's awesome. Awesome. Okay. So there are a number of people that just hate the protocol. I for the life of me, I can't understand why. But I genuinely, I hope that I've illustrated that I think that it can be done without buying the stuff that I buy. The stuff that I buy is just a tool. It makes it easier for me. It worked for me. This entire thing has been how it worked for me, and I hope you can take information from that. You know, Julie Dunlea, this is what it worked for me. I bought the field grade system from Unicity. Link is in my bio. If you go to the link in my bio, then there's that's my link tree, and then the very first link in there is Unicity field grade system. It worked for me. They don't guarantee that they're going to reverse your type 2 diabetes, guys. I just want to be clear about that. The protocol really focuses on reversing insulin resistance, right? And hopefully, we're able to do that to a point where it does take care of some things like that. I lost that. Your best life, I don't disagree. It is expensive. Everything is expensive, you know. But that being said, what's the cost of diabetes? Yeah. Yes, I agree. Your best life. Yes. Oh, there you go. That works, Marie. I'm happy for you, Marie. Benelli, that's awesome. You know what, Patty Carroll, that didn't happen to me. That happens to a small percentage of people. If that happens to you, which it sounds like it is, cut the packet back to a half packet. So right now you're taking a full packet in about 11, you're filling it up to the line. Take about a half a packet, okay? Cut it in half, do that half packet, and do that for a week or so, and then start gradually working it back up to the full packet. There you go. That's awesome. So water only while fasting. Tea, water-based products, tea, coffee. Hi, Saray. How are you? Patty, you're welcome. Try that. Try that. What other questions, guys? The one packet, the balanced one is, this is the one that I used for that back there. And then there's another packet for the tea. The tea is called Unimate. Yes, you can have coffee when you're fasting. Black coffee. No sweeteners, no cream, black coffee. Just plain black coffee. Yes, absolutely. Enjoy it, actually. D.A. Carpenter, I started at the beginning of the year. Like right at the beginning of the year. There you go, Rastros. No sugar. So I minimize my sugar intake for sure, just because Whether you're type 2 diabetic or not, you should do that, I feel like. For what? 9719? User 9719. Is 13 hours for fasting good, or does it have to be longer? I think anytime you get past 12, your body starts to do metabolically switching, they call it. And I got this from Dr. Mark Mattson. He's a neuroscientist from Johns Hopkins Medical University. And he said 12 to 13 hours, your body switches over. So anything longer than that is really beneficial. Yes, 9719. You know what? I agree. Go to the gym. Definitely get in the gym. Eat better. No, this is not a medication, D.A. Carpenter, at all. That's not at all. It's a fiber supplement and a tea. Why no milk and coffee? So the milk, there's actually sugar in milk, and it could break the fast as well. GNM, not if you're going to break, if you're fasting, you don't want to put any sugar in your coffee. What are you guys talking about? Oh, hi, Poppy. We're talking about reversing insulin resistance, trying to become more insulin sensitive. Artificial sweeteners. So some of these things they can trick your body. They're so real seeming, they can trick your body into breaking a fast. Okay. Hi, Poppy. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Yes. Bill Meatsy. Yes. What's up, Austin? How are you, brother? If you sleep 12 hours a day, then you're getting a big part of your fasting knocked out. I wish I could sleep 12 hours a day. Been drinking black coffee for over a month now. Don't miss it exactly. I was the same way. I used to drink a lot of sweetener in my coffee. A lot of sweetener. No, Rastros, no, but I would minimize them. They mentioned you have to totally stop eating wheat, rice, and potatoes. I would minimize them. I'm in Colorado, Christine. Yeah. So guys, so the deal is promoting insulin sensitivity, trying to reverse insulin resistance. There are ties between that, and that's where you're getting your type 2 diabetes from. So as you work on reversing your insulin resistance, that's where I'm going right now. As you work on reversing your insulin resistance, hopefully you're able to reverse your type 2 diabetes at the same time. Okay, so it's only one that I take, and it is this one here, and that is Balance, okay? I do a little display here where I put Metamucil and Benefiber and put them side by side to show the difference. Each background, I know it was way better. Oh, I want to go back. You talking about like hazelnut coffee? Those would be fine, user 86713. Just no sweeteners, no creamers, no sweetened creamers or anything like that. But yeah, like a hazelnut coffee, yeah. The one where the bean has actually got that on it. Does it help? I don't know about liver disease. I don't know about, well, so fatty liver is directly, it has ties to insulin resistance. So in that sense it would. But as far as like some of the other liver disease, I'm unfamiliar. I don't know, and I don't want to lead you wrong. I just got my labs today, and not good. Waiting for a call from doctor on Monday. Belinda, I got those kind of numbers. I had so for those that are just now coming in and have maybe never heard me talk, I had a 565 cholesterol. I had a 569 triglycerides. I had a 459 LDL cholesterol. I had a 22 HDL cholesterol. And I had a 12.2% A1C. As of right now, I'm no longer on any of my type 2 diabetic medications, and I'm no longer on my statins. Yeah, so I don't miss being on. Those are some ridiculous numbers. So Cereza, I was on Trulicity, and I'm not on it anymore. I didn't want to be on it. And Ozempic, there's some side effect things with Ozempic that I'm really concerned about. I think people should be concerned about them. Been off my meds since the middle of February, and I don't remember the exact day. My last Trulicity pen was somewhere around, I think it was like the 15th of February was the last time that I took a Trulicity pen. And so we tested me on the 19th of April, so just 10 days ago, and my A1C was 5.2%. Doctor said, gotta up my fiber intake. There you go. So I would say definitely, without a doubt, start with the lemon flavor, okay? Just the lemon flavor. The balance is always the same flavor. They're working on some other flavors right now, but the balance is always one flavor. It's kind of orangey flavor. It's like an orange dreamsicle thing. It tastes like an orange Julius. But the teas are available in lemon, ginger, and right now black, but black's being discontinued. So the lemon and lemon ginger, I would definitely say the lemon. Definitely do the lemon. And after a month or so, then maybe try and do something different. Of the tea, and what are the side effects of the tea? What's up, Jason? The side effects of the tea and fiber. Go check out the PDR.net. So PDR.net, the prescriber's digital reference, and you can type in Unicity Balance. You can type in Unicity. They've got 18 products in a PDR. You could go and check those out. And what you'll find for the side effects for Balance is occasionally you'll find some people get some bloating. There might be increased flatulence and watery stools. So diarrhea and farting. And they say it lasts, most people it's gone within a month. So you're welcome, Rastros. I've had no wine or sugar. Wow. I've had wine since then. All right, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this live. We just got back. My wife Amanda and I went on vacation. Oh, that's great, Jason. Get healthy. Get healthy. Once you get healthy, then you can kind of start reintroducing some of those other things. Absolutely. Guys, we just got, they are very hard. Okay, so Mary, okay, I want to touch on that before I bounce off of here, okay? Sugars are very hard, and that's all that this is to me, guys. That's all that this balance is to me, is it allows me a little bit of food freedom. Now, most of the time, a typical day for me, I will break my fast with a kind of a keto heavy sort of lunch, high in proteins, low, very, very low in carbs, if any carbs at all, very, very low in that. And that will be kind of my typical lunch. Now around dinner time, I might switch over to a Mediterranean style dinner where I've got a lean meat or a lean protein, typically like a chicken breast or a piece of fish, a whole grain like farro or quinoa or barley, something like that, and then a good mix of vegetables. So that would be a typical dinner for me. Now, tonight we got home. We just came home from vacation, and as I was driving in, I was like, I think I want pizza tonight. And Amanda agreed. She wanted pizza too. So we went and got pizza. And so that's all that this does for me, guys. This allows me to have those. I don't go overboard with the pizza. I do that every day. This is the first time we've had pizza in a month. But I wanted to have pizza. Because I make better decisions overall, I can allow myself those treats, right? You're welcome, Mary. Yep. Yes, Marie, yes. I get it, right? So that's really what it is. But this here, and that's where I say people, the people that are coming in and just throwing hate at my way because I talk positively about this. It's get a life, man. You don't have to. I've never once said that you have to take this or you're screwed, right? You don't have to do this. It's definitely a lifestyle change. To the person who said, I do not count calories at all, D.A. Carpenter. I don't count them at all. Heart attack. Oh, yes. Jason Vogler. You're welcome, Ellie. Oh, man. I'm happy for you, Marie. Yeah, you don't have to. You can reverse type 2 diabetes with just diet and exercise alone, right? Dr. Fung has proven that. Intermittent fasting with a low carb, high fat diet, and then get in the gym every single day. If you do that, there's a good chance you'll reverse it. Just with that, okay? I'm not suggesting that you have to take mine, but I don't subscribe to a low carb, high fat diet because I don't want to. I suck at that. I don't want to. And that's where this comes in. I have lost weight. I've lost about 15 pounds. My overall health journey, I'm down about 70 pounds. But on this protocol since the beginning of January, about 15 pounds. But I'm about 195 right now. I'm 5'11"-ish. About 10 and a half or something like that. Thank you. Thank you. And I tell you what, honest to goodness, I feel like $1 million. I feel like $1 million. Okay, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a live, call it a night. I will definitely go on again tomorrow, though. I feel like I enjoyed this. I am drinking, it's called their Matcha Focus. Melba, yeah. You can do all of this stuff, guys. You can do all of this stuff without buying my protocol. I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm going to strong arm them into buying the protocol that I promote. No, it is from Unicity. Yes, it is. GNM. It is from Unicity. But again, and that's where I want to be absolutely clear that the very first thing I talk about is Dr. Jason Fung. Yeah, we've got a number of doctors who are saying that, actually, Mary. All right, guys. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, I'm getting ready to wrap this one up, end this one. I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed the interaction here. You guys have kept this one going quite a bit. Send me a message if you have any questions whatsoever. Send me a message. Hopefully you've given me a follow here and we're able to stay in contact there. I'm also putting out my product, my social media presence on the other platforms as well. So if you're on the other platforms, maybe look me up at The Real Jim BBQ. So this one's just Jim BBQ. I've got at The Real Jim BBQ on those. I think I'll be on probably tomorrow morning. I like that 10 o'clock Mountain Time ballpark. If you give me a follow, then I think you can hit like a bell that will on my homepage that will like say when I'm going live or something like that. We'll give you a notification. But it'll probably be around 10 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow. And then if I'm feeling feisty, I might do another one tomorrow night too. So we've been traveling all day long. Literally, we were on the road at 7 o'clock this morning in Florida, and we just got home. We threw down some pizza, and I'm starting to feel the day. You guys know those travel days, right? And I left Florida. Like, I want to go back. It is 9:45 right now. So Mountain Standard Time, 9:45. Yes, Watkins. Yes. There's a cheat code. And another little cheat code. If you decide to tie one on occasionally, you have a few too many to drink, that balance will have one of those before you go to bed. Little help. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for sticking around for my live. Have a good night. Have a blessed night. I'll be on probably around 10 o'clock-ish Mountain Standard tomorrow. Okay? Good night. God bless.